First off, thank you so much for clicking on this video. This video is a 15-minute interview with my good friend Michael Vargas, who runs a digital marketing agency called Forward Growth Media. And in this video, we discuss kind of the differences between sales versus marketing and the overarching principles behind sales and marketing, the scarcity and abundance mindsets. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please leave a thumbs up and also comment down below what are your thoughts on sales versus marketing and the scarcity versus abundance mentalities. Enjoy. In your opinion, what is the main difference between sales and marketing? Mm-hmm. And then which do you think, or like for you, I guess personally, which one do you think is like more effective or has been more effective for you in like your particular like business?
Gotcha. Yeah, so to me, the sales side of it, you can't really have the sales side without the marketing. So I think the real way to do it is you need marketing to bring in the leads, and then you actually sell to those leads. So I would say they're equally important. Without one, you can't really have the other properly. I mean, if your marketing is lacking, then you're not going to have enough leads that are qualified to be able to sell to. And then if your sales aren't good, you're not going to be able to actually close the leads that you're bringing in through marketing. But for me, in my business, when I actually started positioning myself in the right way to attract higher level clients and more clients, then I had a lot more lead flow, and then sales wasn't really an issue. And now I'm at a stage in my business where I'm pumping up the lead flow, and then also focusing on actually squeezing everyone through the sales funnel. So making sure that all of my follow-ups are in place to actually take someone from, just hearing about me and booking a call just out of interest to actually closing and becoming a paying client. And then even beyond that point, you're still kind of selling to them to keep that relationship going and to generate referrals, which is something I never did. So that's also a system I put in my place now with like a referral system to incentivize current clients to get new clients. And if you don't have the entire funnel dialed in, you're not really going to scale as quickly and as consistently as you would without it. And that's something I've just been learning recently. So
okay, that's interesting. So because for you, you said like it's kind of gone either way and back and forth. So like you've had it where you've focused more on marketing, and then you've had times where you focus like more on sales. That's interesting, because from my perspective, for me, I always tend to focus more. I don't know, tell me what you think too, because I tend to feel like I focus more on marketing. Like I always focus on marketing, like my Instagram, like putting out content, not so much as the sales. Like the sales just come like obviously like we work together now, obviously like I wasn't like trying like I was selling something, like I had something to sell, but I wasn't like trying to convince you to I wasn't trying to sell you like you should do this, you were almost ready to work with me. And I think like in my opinion that's like the best way to make sales, because then that like lowers the threshold of like people having like clients having buyer's remorse and being like, I actually don't know if I should have done that, or if I should have invested this much money into something, because they weren't sure if they wanted to go through with it. That's why like just like the classic like car salesman, you know what I mean? Like people like when they like buy a car or whatever, it's like immediately they're like, oh, this is a great purchase, and then afterwards they're like, oh, because this like car salesmen are literally like cold-hearted door-to-door sales. Like they don't like they don't care about marketing. The marketing is that you walk in the front door. You know? So I guess that's just kind of my take on it, because I've always focused more on marketing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I would say there is that definitely works, but I guess also like it's like a longer term strategy. So if someone wanted to start a business and get clients or something in the first month to replace their income or whatever it was, you kind of have to go hardcore sales, direct outreach. But if you're more like long term, I think long term building the brand and focusing on marketing is definitely better. But like initially, if you really want to drive revenue and get sales, you need to sell. And it kind of just depends on, what your goals are and what you want to do. If you're trying to replace your income in a 30, 60-day slope, you need to obviously go heavy on sales. But in the long run, I'd definitely rather have a lot warmer leads and more inbound that are more qualified. Because if someone is more set on working with you in particular over, deciding a few options, you can charge more, and most likely the client will have a better working relationship with you than if you have to kind of go in and sell them. It kind of just throws off the buyer-seller dynamic, in my opinion.
Yeah, like every time, because the reason that I say this too is because it, like, for my clients, like my previous, like social media marketing business, all the clients that I had that I like sold were like much more demanding. Like they needed a lot much more. They felt like they weren't getting as much value out of it. Meanwhile, the people who came to me who were ready to work with me and like ready to just like be like, listen, like here's the money, take care of it. And it's like they actually had faith in like me and my process and my business and what I was doing. So like those people, like you said, it's like so much easier to work with.
And also I think, I mean, you obviously prefer to work with those people because something a lot of people don't consider, it's not as frequently talked about, is once you have a client, if they are demanding and high maintenance, I mean, one, it's going to cause you more stress and ruin your quality of life a bit, but also that will be time and energy that you can't really invest into scaling further. So if you're taking on the wrong clients, it will actually hinder you from growing in the long run as well, which I think a lot of people don't think about. But even recently, like I had a client that wasn't overly demanding or anything, but just needed slightly more attention than the others and more revisions. And it's like, from a business end, that means I have to get a new graphic made for my designer, or we have to redo a funnel or something. And that's obviously going to cost more money and more time. And then that might make that client less profitable than other clients who are getting the same exact service. So I feel like that's even something to consider, like how much profit you make per client, like who are the clients you actually enjoy working with, and then scaling those, and then ideally cutting the ones that are a bit demanding or they don't really see the value in whatever you're offering. And that's where I think also the marketing comes in too, because if you have plenty of leads, you're not really going to be in scarcity over those few ones that you do have.
Yes.
And then you'll just sort out the ones that are best for you, and then you'll kind of have like this upward spiral.
Yeah, and that kind of goes also, like, that's perfect segue into like the abundant scarcity mentality. Like literally that's what it is in marketing too, and sales. Like if you have I feel like marketing is like coming from more abundance, and like sales is coming from more scarcity. Obviously not always true, because if you have to close a sale. So I'm not trying to say that you like the sales will close themselves. I mean sometimes it feels like that actually, but it's not that's not the reality of the situation. But when you're marketing and you're putting out content, you're providing value, it creates an abundance for people. Like, people don't feel pressured to come to you for something. Yeah. Because you're already giving so much that you don't have, like, it's literally classic. It's like you give more than you take. Always. Literally it's like that. If I could drill one lesson into like every human being, it would literally just be like, give more than you take. Yeah. Like literally that's it. Like, we could end this podcast right now. Seriously, it's crazy. Yeah. Like, I always feel like that's such a big thing. Even, and especially too, dude, in social situations. Big time. Give more than you can take. Always be giving positive vibes and never trying to like take at all or expect from anyone. Like, never expect anything from anyone. Like, literally that's what is it? I think it's happiness is reality minus expectations. I think I posted that quote like once on one of my stories. Yeah. And it's so true, man. Like, expectations, you just take that away. Yeah. You're good. Yeah.
There's a saying I like too. It's like, expect nothing but hope for the best. So you have no expectations, or like you don't expect anything to happen, but obviously you have like positive faith or like good hope that things will kind of work out as they need to, but never have like expectations, because the second you have one and then it doesn't really work out the way you see it, then you have a chance to get disappointed. Whereas like if you don't have that expectation, you hope, you can still get all the upside of the situation by kind of hoping for the best, but not actually any of the downside of potential disappointment. So that's another quote I kind of like too, in terms of what we just said about the abundance.
Yeah, abundance. I mean, that's a huge one.
Yeah, I think in terms of that too, when it comes down to it, the abundance thing I feel like will help you also feel good about the sale or whatever social situation you're in, because like you said before with the example of the car salesman, most likely if you're in that situation, you have to hard sell someone where it might not even be what they truly want to do, then you might not even feel good about the sale. And I think, depending on your personality type and what kind of person you want to be, like I know for me, I wouldn't want to be...
You're not a complete piece of garbage.
I wouldn't want to be the one hard selling someone something they don't want.
Who doesn't need it?
Another thing too worth mentioning in terms of like a sales process and a sales cycle, that can really also only really work better in like a product-based environment, like a one-time sale. If you're getting anyone recurring and you hard sell them, then they're going to have that buyer's remorse and you have to deal with that ongoing. But if you hard sell someone on a car, on a pen, on a shirt,
on an item,
like, I mean, yeah, they could return it, but like still, like, I mean, at that point it's sold, like it's kind of off your plate at that point.
I see what you're saying. That's interesting, because we're both in the business of
recurring
services. Yeah. So it's not like we're not actually like, it's not like we could give someone a product and say see you later. You know?
No, exactly.
But even then, that would be.
You wouldn't want to do that too. But also, if you look at the way people teach sales, if it's a little bit more hard pressing like that, it's usually on a product-based thing or a one-time sale versus like a recurring thing, because again, you have to deal with that client over time. So
have you taken like in your mentorships, in your business like mentorships, have you done like sales like training, like specifically sales? Have you done more than one, or just like one?
No, so I've done, all of it is recurring basically in terms of the monthly retainers. I've done some like one-off stuff, but it's never like a one-time product or something. It might be like a consultation. Okay. Which I guess, you could do it there, but most of the time that's not really happening, and that's also something I offer as like an accommodation to someone who don't necessarily have a budget to work with someone full-time or whatever. It's like, oh, hey, I can teach you what we would do, and then you can execute it yourself. So that's more so the case I did it. So I never even yeah, for the most part, like 99% of the revenue I make is recurring, but like 1% would be like a consultation. Again, where like at that point it might not even really make sense for me because I don't really like that. I prefer the recurring form to actually help people on it. Because my thing with information is you can give someone information, but they might necessarily apply it. So that's why I like the more like accountability of like a long-term program and a structure instead of like a one-off thing. Because I can hop on the phone with someone, show them everything. They can feel really excited about it, maybe start to execute it.
10 minutes later.
And then they hit a roadblock, and then it was kind of for nothing on both of us. So.
Yeah, that's exactly the same. That's kind of back to the topic of what we were saying is like when you're hard selling someone and like if they're not invested into the process.
Yeah.
Then it's pretty much useless. Like you're just wasting your breath. That's something that I'm working on because I'm like us, we're us like young guys, like starry-eyed, like we just want to make the world a better place. And it's like we just want to tell everybody that like you're doing things the wrong way, like you shouldn't be doing, but when you tell someone that they're doing something like wrong, like people get like defensive. Yeah. And like that's like a problem that I have sometimes. I'm always like trying to I'm not trying to like shove my values on someone, but it's like I want to show some like people that like the positives of like something like of like like
you have good intentions. I know exactly what you mean because I'm the same way, but you have good intentions when you want to help someone with something. Maybe the delivery can be like a bit blunt because you're just like to you it's like so obvious. Like why are you doing that? You're self-sabotaging. You're doing this thing that's bad for you. Don't do that. Do this instead, and you'll get all.
But if someone's not ready to hear that,
then they get defensive or
then anything you say after that is like just like you're wasting your breath.
And that really sucks too because like you could really want to help someone or know that like you've been through the exact situation and really want to help them. But like if they don't take it and they're not in the right mental place to actually do anything with it, it's just for nothing. So I think that's why I like paid mentorships because the people that go into those are more serious about actually utilizing your results. And it's kind of like a win-win because I've been in a lot of situations where I'll try to help friends with things or start up a business and they're not invested in the process. It's just me wasting my time. Unfortunately, like if that actually did work, I would be so happy to help everyone for free, but it just doesn't really work. And I've spent enough time realizing that.
And it's funny because people who don't understand that concept will say that you are just like cold and you don't want to help and teach other people.
Yeah.
Because you won't waste your time on it because it doesn't make sense. Like why? Like your time is precious. It's valuable. Mm. Why would you waste your time trying to convince somebody who doesn't want your help that they need your help? Yeah. It's just literally like it doesn't make any sense. But it's just funny how that works because you're right. The more and more like I talk to literally less and less people. Mm. Less and less. It is actually an exact correlation with how like I've grown up, my age, and then like the people that I've talked to has like decreased. Mm. Exactly because it's like what like I could just talk till I'm blue in the face about this stuff. This is the best part though. This is why I started this podcast, by the way, because now I could talk about this and I could just be spewing horse like I'm not actually, but like I could and and it's not I could talk about it and then the people who want to come see it can go click on the video and watch it and then the people who don't they can exit out right now. Like there's nothing. It's a free world. I like that. I like that about the internet. And it's like realizing that it's not too difficult to do something like this. And it's like I like it's funny because we would have this conversation probably 10 times before we could just turn on a camera, film it, post it, never have to have this conversation again. Yeah. Oh yeah, someone brings up your scarcity like the scarcity like abundance mentality. I'd be like literally click this video. Yeah. Like literally click on this video and I never have to talk about it again. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense. And I think also, like you said, it pulls the right people in. And then it kind of also, I mean, the cool thing about the internet is it automizes and streamlines everything. So like you said, the conversation can be had once, or the video can be shot with a certain concept, and it can be viewed, for whatever, how many people are on YouTube for however long that is, and then pull the right people into you instead of, that's where marketing comes in. You don't need to go out there and hard sell people that aren't really interested in whatever you have to talk about. They'll be pulled in, and then if anyone that watches this now, a year from now, 5 years from now, wants to have a conversation or reach out or do anything, they can see that, and there's a way for them to do that without us having to actively go out there and pursue it. So if you like this video, comment, share, hit the like button, and this is Michael Vargas, my good friend, and I will put your link to your Instagram, like Forward Growth Media, and your social media in the description down below. So, thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.